Hey, what's up, and welcome back to A-Aron Reacts, and we're back for the one and only 7 Sins with Ren. Many of you have been recommending this since I started reacting to Ren. Of course, there's many other things, but I'm super happy to get to it, so let's not waste any more time, and we'll jump right in.
I lay broken on the kitchen.
Whew, what an intro. Oh my gosh, that was dark, devilish. I have no idea what possessive, or like being possessed. Oh my goodness, wow. Okay, I gotta pause and look that up. Okay, so I just looked that up. So the beginning of that was actually Welsh, where Ren is from, so clearly that makes sense, but what a perfect language for that. It sounded so dark and evil. It was amazing, actually. And what it said was, "Sickness are my teachers. My smile broke. My bones feel old. Here lies the body of Ren." And we saw that there was an RIP there, right, in place and so forth. So what power, what power. I mean, these lyrics right out of the gate, right? Sickness are my teachers. It's almost like pain is this instructor, right? It's personified, shaping Ren's view, which is such a powerful message in itself, right? So much can be learned from that. And obviously he's had such hard lessons from Lyme disease, the misdiagnosis, things to that effect. My smile broke, my bones feel old. I think he's tying the physical deterioration to the emotional exhaustion. And also kind of highlights a little bit of vulnerability there. Here lies the body of Ren. I think this is kind of a metaphorical death, you know, probably referring to the loss of identity, you know, or rebirth through art. We've talked about, you know, the death of Sick Boy recently, and what he's going through and some of that stuff and the rebirth. I'm not entirely sure at this point, but let's continue. Actually, we'll fire it all the way back. You got these parallel voices going on that is very kind of choral in nature, but it's also dark, and then the imagery creates this kind of demonic feel to it. Very neat effect. And you see the book too, so it kind of implies something biblical or something to that effect as well. And then the bones, right? So we talk about here lies Ren and so forth. R.I.P. I could hear Ren doing some of those voices too, by the way. I don't know if he did all of it. He probably did, but I could tell his voice with some of them for sure. And this transition is just sick, by the way. It completely changes the feeling. So they continue with the text in the same way, like not allowing you to forget that sentiment, but the feeling of the music shifts drastically.
I lay broken on the kitchen floor. I clawed at the laminate.
Notice that sorry, I know I interrupted right as he's talking, but again, you want me to react, right? And so the tone and the volume of his voice is almost completely calming and reassuring, but it's told in kind of a story-like fashion where it's like, you know, the whole scene settles down, like at the beginning of a scene, beginning of a movie, right? And you set this kind of opening like riveting scene, and then you kind of take a step back and get to the narrator. And that's essentially what he's doing here. And you even see the Seven Sins movie intro. We see Sick Boy logo and things to that effect as well. But those just a boom, boom. Ooh, that hits so hard.
I lay broken on the kitchen floor. I clawed at the laminate. Pain wandered my body, an uninvited guest. Bones of a home where the devil could rest. I cursed the gods, cursed my messiah, cursed my maker. I cursed all of creation. There I lay, feeble and thin. Sick boy, 797. Have you ever felt pain? Stomach wrenching, unrelenting. Tell me, have you ever felt pain?
Wow.
Condescending, muscles clenching. Tell me, have you ever felt pain? A rose emerges from the pavement cracks. They'll write my eulogy with broken glass. Eternal parallax.
Pain.
Pain the author, I accept this. Pain the teacher, bruised apprentice. Pain resisting, pain will come. Pain the mother, I'm the son. Pain that splits you, and too many hits you. The dark and the light will converge to one. Pain that twists you, the heavens dismiss you. The Father, the Ghost, and the Holy Son. Body bags, body bags, body.
My gosh, he once again does it where it's like, it's this riveting, moving, fun, you know, lyrical, melodic song that, you know, you want to dance to, but you almost can't. Like, you feel twisted in that thought, just listening to the lyrics and knowing what he's talking about. But this concept of pain being the teacher, and when he talked about, have you ever felt pain? He then goes gut-wrenching pain. He's talking about, you know, torturous and so forth. He's like, no. Have you ever actually felt pain? Right? Like, you think you might have. Right? And I will say that, you know, my wife, when she got hit by a car and she woke up, they wouldn't give her anesthesia initially until we had cleared up a payment to the insurance company and stuff like this. This whole mess. And I had coverage, by the way. It was just a mess. But anyway, I don't think I've ever seen somebody in more pain in my life personally to me. And that was really, really tough. I mean, really, really, really tough to see and experience. And my definition of pain changed in that moment, right? Like, my understanding of what pain is, like the whole levels of pain shifted. And I think that's what he's trying to indicate here, is that, you know, no. Have you actually felt pain? I'm not talking about pain that the average mortal human being is used to. I'm talking about real pain. Have you ever felt that? And I think that's what he's talking about here. That's just tough. But then he also talks to it about, you know, being a teacher and pain the mother, pain the teacher, on and on and on. Just super powerful stuff.
Too many hits you, the dark and the light will converge to one. Pain that twists you, the heavens dismiss you. The Father, the Ghost, and the Holy Son. Body bagging me. Zip it up quick, get their things on B. I search for peace in the belly of a beast. Sick boy, onomatopoeia. Running up a fever, following a leader. Wanna be me, huh? Grass isn't greener. Bright lights, seizure.
Here we see the same feeling that we saw in Sick Boy, where I talked about that was like almost the heartbeat. It was the one thing that kind of keeps his rhythm and pacing and, you know, sanity amidst all the craziness, was just the heartbeat. The fact that he's just alive, like the minimal piece. And I feel like here it's the same thing. It's that rhythm. It's that beat. It's that heartbeat. And he's using that breathing as a rhythmic piece here. And we also saw that in the tale of Jenny and Screech. I believe it was in Screech, if I'm not mistaken, where he was facing so much panic and almost hyperventilation that, you know, he's freaking out internally. And I think we're seeing some of all of that here.
I search for peace in the belly of a beast. Sick boy, onomatopoeia. Running up a fever, following a leader. Wanna be me, huh?
Yeah, onomatopoeia, like he's implying that Sick Boy is in and of itself sounds like it should be.
Sick boy, onomatopoeia. Running up a fever, following a leader. Wanna be me, huh? Grass isn't greener. Bright lights, seizure, dynamite dealer. Dine at the table at the coroner.
Dynamite dealer. Wow. You want to be me, grass isn't always greener, right? You want the rewards of the Clearly he had some exposure and some success at this point, right? So he's saying, you want to be me, but the grass isn't always greener. And then he talked about dealing dynamite. Jeez, that's tough. Meaning, of course, that, he's dealing with explosions and challenges that you've never seen.
Grass isn't greener, bright lights, he's your dynamite dealer. Dine at the table of the coroner, eat up fuck.
Dine at the table of the coroner, eat up, fuck.
Bright lights, he's your dynamite dealer. Dine at the table of the coroner, eat up fuck. 13 years and I've been feeling so stuck. Lucky number 13, just my luck. Empires tumble, rubble and dust. The universe shrinks and the planets combust. In God we trust. God tied a noose to his neck and he walked to the edge and he jumped. Angels wept, I bear witness, watching the whole thing unfold from my bed. A bed.
Wow. Okay, so I've got the lyrics here. Let me find that lyric. God tied a noose around his neck and he walked to the edge and he jumped, and then angels wept. Wow. So this is like God committing suicide, but to me, it's like a metaphorical God giving up, right? And I think that that's kind of symbolizing the ultimate act of giving up hope, and that, he talked about, and earlier he talked about, I cursed the gods, cursed my Messiah, cursed my maker, cursed all of creation. Right? How could there possibly be a God that has left me with this? How could you possibly explain this by the great God that has allowed me to live and suffer like this? I've given up hope, and God has obviously given up hope in me. That is just crazy. I mean, that's nuts. And it's also bars.
Planets combust, in God we trust. God tied a noose to his neck and he walked to the edge and he jumped. Angels wept, I bear witness, watching the whole thing unfold from my bed.
Yeah, I didn't even comment it, but also the angels wept piece, where like even the divine beings like mourn the loss as if, they've given up hope as well, right? So it's like his suffering, not even heaven can ignore it.
Angels wept, I bear witness, watching the whole thing unfold from my bed. A bed where I never deep rest, a bed where I'm always depressed, a bed with the human oppressed, a bed for a tomb where I slept, a bed in the room that's a womb for this mess. Sick boy bitten by a tick boy, tell me how it feels to be.
We saw that same line in Sick Boy, sick boy, bitten by a tick boy.
A bed in the room that's a womb for this mess. Sick boy bitten by a tick boy, tell me how it feels to be buried while you breathe. Stones and sticks boy, pain is a gift boy, hard to make a stand when you crawl.
Wow, that's a tough analogy. And, so true, perhaps more true for Ren. And look, I've come to learn that many of you renegades also suffer from some crazy conditions. And I hope other renegades reach out and support. In fact, in my last video, I talked about creating community and doing things. I put a fundraiser for mental health, and I feel like we as a community can help each other. Maybe that's the good, the social cause that we can do to rise up and help each other and to help, to actually create something here. Is many fellow renegades are following and supporting Ren and are going through some extremely difficult conditions and things themselves. And my heart goes out to you. And so some of you may well know and understand this. The rest of us don't. But I feel like few people in life probably will be able to relate to what he's talking about here. And he talked about being buried alive while breathing, I think was the line, if I'm not mistaken, but the same concept applies. In other words, he couldn't move. He was just trapped in this body, unable to actually live, right? And this is the same concept that, even if you don't like that genre of music, I would encourage you to actually at least look at the lyrics of One by Metallica. And it's a lot of the same type of concept where, war has actually taken away the soldier's arms, limbs, eyes, ears. I cannot hear, I cannot feel. I'm trapped in myself, trapped in my holding cell. It's a lot of the same concept where it's like immovable, right? And I feel like that's what he's talking about here is just, it's, how can you possibly even describe what you're feeling, right? It's just so terrible.
Feels to be buried while you breathe. Stones and sticks, boy, pain is a gift, boy. Hard to make a stand when you crawl on your knees, and I kneel. I kneel at the altar of my own disease and I beg the sky for mercy. Mercy never came, I did me dirty. 33 and hurting, cursing Jesus died at
Okay, sorry. I know I'm interrupting right as this is getting going, but just musically, there's so much going on here that I just want to quickly comment on. Like these violins intermixed, like there's so much opposing, just themes musically happening here. And I don't feel like there's a lot happening chordal structure otherwise, but instrumentation, right? You got this driving, dum, 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 right? That's just strong foundational thing. And then you got these violins just playing on top of it. And then there's screeching, there's miscellaneous things throughout. It's just all these different feelings and emotions going on, which I think is the general sentiment of, how he's feeling, unable to escape, trying to cry out, losing all hope, despair, desperation.
This guy for mercy.
I beg the sky for mercy. I mean, my goodness.
I kneel at the altar of my own disease and I beg the sky for mercy. Mercy never came. I did me dirty, 33 and hurting, cursing. Jesus died at 33 and still my sins are lurking. Gears are turning, future stays uncertain. Surgeon incision, murder ambition.
So I'm wondering if he's 33 when he does this. Because he's talking about 33. Jesus died at 33. How symbolic would that be? And that's obviously no choice that he's weaving that in, if so.
Still my sins are lurking, gears are turning, future stays uncertain, surgeon incision, murder ambition. Fear of the unknown preserves a religion. Denounced the gods when my body went missing. Back then, the pain spray ricochet like a mat.
And again, rhythmically, back that, just shift like that. I mean, he's just such a master.
Turning future stays uncertain, surgeon incision, murder ambition. Fear of the unknown preserves a religion.
Here we go.
Denounced the gods when my body went missing. Back then, the pain spray ricochet like a mat. Tan hot lead hit the bed that was trapped in. Red wing seraphim out of God's grace. Cried tears from heaven like clapping. Stick pins in the voodoo Hendrix. Thick skin, stay humble Kendrick. Stay skeptic, the biometrics. Bloodstained crime scene forensic. Lights on, lights out.
The way these bars are just transitioned and weaving on top of each other. He's using the double meaning as the transition to the next point, which is just sick.
The biometrics, bloodstained crime scene forensic. Lights on, lights out. Fade into the background. So down, running from the silhouette of self-doubt. By now, really should have figured this shit out. Lights on, lights out. Smackdown. Let it be. Quote John Lennon. Click clack, John got shot for attention. What does that tell you about the good of intentions? Bitterness formed in a storm of aggression. Prophets get dropped, imagining heaven. Martin Luther, Mahatma, dead. 6-6 followed by 6 and 7. Build them, praise them, bury them, dead. I was born to be half a man with half a chance. My heart isn't half righteous, half is down, and half a gram. Half those troubles and thoughts stay darker than a Rukai master plan. Sharp.
No, you weren't. I was born to be half a man, half a heart. No. Ren, you were not. It's absolutely unfair, the hand you've been dealt. But you were not born to be half a man. You will continue to become way more of a man than virtually anybody I know. I get the point lyrically, but I want to stop and call that out because you are not half a person. My goodness.
Heaven, Martin Luther, Mahatma, dead. 6-6 followed by 6 and 7. Build them, praise them, bury them, dead. I was born to be half a man with half a chance. My heart isn't half righteous, half is down, and half a gram. Half those troubles and thoughts stay darker than a Rukai master plan. Sharper than glass shards, splinter and cinnamon. Irony could kill a man. He makes money when the music lands. Expand, pay me my cheese, rain down parmesan. Followed by 7 whole sins for a self-made Armageddon. Sin 1.
Okay, I wasn't quite following because he did 6-6 and then 6-7 a little earlier, and I wasn't quite following, but now I get it. He's saying 6-6-6, but then followed by a 7 for the 7 sins.
Parmesan, followed by 7 whole sins for a self-made Armageddon. Sin 1, pride makes a man kill a man for his ego to survive. Sin 2, lust makes the grass look greener, crucifies trust. Sin 3, gluttony, humans consume and consume, planet Earth gets a frontal lobotomy. 4, sloth.
Earth gets a frontal lobotomy. My gosh, that's a bar, yo.
3, gluttony, humans consume and consume, planet Earth gets a frontal lobotomy. 4, sloth, rinse and repeat, reruns, repeat, time lost. Sin 5, envy, that's when one man's win is another man's frenzy. Sin 6, wrath, rage, vengeance, killers, psychopath. in 7, greed. Greed plants a seed that will destroy us all if we succumb to greed. If we take what we need, then take more than we need, then our oceans will bleed. Still we feed and we feed and we sleep and repeat. Then we exile the shepherds and follow the sheep. We inherit the meat. We inherit this world that we bruise and we beat. We inherit this vanity, so because of creeds. Inherit the liars, the murderous thieves. One sin for every one day of the week.
Okay, I paused at the end because I was going to comment on it, but it looks like that was the end. My goodness, what a masterpiece. And you notice that the one that he has talked a lot about, at least that I've followed thus far, but it seems like he looks and puts that as the center of the cause of destruction and the cause of so many issues in our society and people as a whole, is that last one. It's greed. And you notice when he did these, he talked a little bit about each one and he had a quick line or two, but with greed, it was a right to the ending. He said greed plants a seed that will destroy us all if we succumb to greed. So he's talking about destroying us all, right? It's the be-all, end-all. And he definitely puts that front and center, even though it's the last of the 7 sins. Wow, this was just another freaking masterpiece. I mean, how does he continue to do it each and every time? From the very beginning in, Welsh, with that kind of, choral type of feeling, but then the dark, demonic almost feel to it. And then he transitions and there's just that beat, that strong, bass type beat, but then he counters that. And then we got the violins. And then meanwhile, we've got this lyrics that's changing up left and right. He's got these underlying themes that are just so potent. He's repeating things in various videos that we see him interweaving all of these themes, in some cases the same exact words and lyrics. The way that he used these doubles towards the end to actually, he'd say something and then he'd add a line that would add the double in that, but that double would be the transition to the next one, but it would be the first part of the double for that one. It was just epic. I feel like I want to go down and break that down separately, but unfortunately I'm out of time for this video, so I'm going to end it. Plus it's already a little bit long, so I think that's good. We'll end it here. But listen, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet done so. Consider joining us over at a-aronreacts.com/Ren. We appreciate you regardless, and see you in the next one. Thank you.